M80 is taking this one. I'd say those are pretty good odds. 24% of you, I believe it was there, for Team Secret. Let's get into the bans, as something's going on in the chat there, but we'll figure that out when we get some more intel on it. First ban is in, though, and it's a Yana one from the folks over on Team Secret. Definitely not wanting to give M80 that entry boost here, and I'd say it's a pretty good ban with the proficiency we've had for Yana, specifically on this map as well. That's going to be an interesting one from M80, though, as we'll see Capital get banned out as our second attacker.
All right, well, for M80, Yana is their most used offensive operator. They play her 70% of the time, and that's through the 70 rounds they've played at this tournament. So quite a few rounds that Yana's going to be missed out upon. Capital, pretty good when it comes to border overall, just burning out positions. This is one of his stronger maps, just because the tactical crossbow bolts are only counted out by Wamai. So if you don't have that, then he's got the keys to the castle. Solus and Azami, this is going to be no surprise to us. We've been talking about this all tournament, so we're not going to harp on it too much, folks. These two very powerful in their current state.
Wild attacker bans, but the defender bans making pretty much perfect sense here. So let's get into the rounds and see how this will all play out. M80's got the attacking side first. They'll be most affected by those attacker-sided bans, of course, as Stokes mentioned. The Yana, pretty much a direct target ban against them due to how much they are using it. So I'm sure Team Secret has an idea of how to get around that when they are forced onto the attacking side over in round 7. Aside from that, they're not looking like it's tripped up the M80 roster all that much. Still seeing a more than capable lineup being brought to the table here. Try and work through it. The IQ is going to be an interesting one to see, just because for the most part, so far in this tournament, we've been seeing it used as kind of a hard counter to Solus, and obviously we did see Solus just get banned out, so we're going to have to pay closer attention to see how Gomez is going to be utilizing IQ in this setup.
Well, just rolling through Team Secret's operator lineups and stuff they've been doing for this tournament as well, because you and I haven't got to touch on Team Secret.
True.
So I will say this initially, very excited to get to see Kendrick play again. It's been a while. Same for Sleben. Get an NA voiceover Sleben names again. It's, well, what's it been, like 2 years since he was on the Sonics? It's been a little while.
Yeah, it has been quite a bit, actually, when we think back on it.
We're dating
ourselves. That's a little stint on the Sonics.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves now. Ridiculous. But actually, Capital used a decent amount on Team Secret's borders, about 24% of the time, and 60% win rate when they do have that op in their lineup. So not exactly a bad ban. M80 probably just saw something they didn't really like with those maps that they were watching over, so decided to get rid of him.
Slow approach for M80, at least to start things out here. So they are going to keep at least the IQ behind to watch out, see if anybody's going to be spotted on cams from a distance here, either on that window-facing balcony or potentially somewhere deeper inside of security. They have gone over for an interesting first sight. I believe we're playing over towards potentially Tellers for Team Secret here this time. As they work their way deeper into it, though, we are going to see how the M80 roster tries to take those first bits of map control away from the Team Secret roster. There is certainly some aggression that could be thrown out. You can see this propped up by Savage and a few other members of this team right now.
Savage in a pivotal position here for break. Very common position. A lot of teams really favoring to play around this balcony.
Nice.
Huge nitro cell here from Sleben and some nice shots from Savage. He's down Kino. No respect from N80. Gomez is going to step up and take down Savage as well. So far, so good for them. Kino's actually going to be saved here. Fortunately enough, I thought he was inside, but no, not going to be the case. Said be right outside the horseshoe window here. Still have one inside of Bookshelf. Nice shots from Kendrew, and Secret fire back. Cannon fodder for M80. Remember, Kino also weak from that earlier engagement.
So that's the most convincing start here for M80 as they struggle greatly just to clear out the extension and the security at the moment here. Team Secret constantly tripping up any attempt from M80 to clear things out, and it's all left down to Diaz now, who's not looking too good for wear here either. Really spamming into that corpse there as he gets the finish off on
that's a personal foul. Flag on the play for that one, Diaz. It's a 1v4. That was a little overzealous.
Bit of a moot point kill anyway, when you consider what is still sitting in front of him throughout the rest of this round. A 1v3 still to be dealt with. Complete lack of intel gain that he has to play with as well. And there we go, the cross from down below. Inside of Tellers itself finishes things off. We can see this for Secret. They are excited to win that round in that fashion. Put themselves onto the board here at the start of the series.
No, the fantastic start past that as well. And that's how you want to start a map that you really, really need to win. Need to keep the hopes high and your opponents on their hind legs. M80 not looking too hot, that first offense there. It's really due just to the respect they were giving over to Secret, which was more or less the lack thereof respect towards Team Secret. They just bold-faced walked right into security as well as break, and Team Secret was not having it. Some nice shots were landed. M80, not really too much to say about that situation, but fortunately enough, got a lot of time still ahead of them here in border.
Still going to be a first floor hold from Team Secret. In fact, they're working their way over here into customs, believe it or not, for the second round hold. Not necessarily the site we've been seeing a lot of our teams, for our games at least, on border play directly into. So this will be a fun one to see how M80 try to manage this one. Quite a few repicks as a result of that site choice. You're going to see the hard breach change up, for instance, over there on Kino as he's forced to go over to the Thermite. The Thatcher even being brought in so they can guarantee the opening at jail. Gomez will try to get a bit sneaky on this round with the Nook. Y'all get staying consistent there on that sledge. They are certainly going to want to open up the top downs to access this site from the inside of security up here, but they'll have to work their way past this extension again. And that brings a call back to the last round where they really struggled just to get that part of the map. In fact, never even really got it.
Well, it feels like they are almost being forced to respect it this time with the Mira in play, right? I mean, you just be lying to yourself if you're like, oh, I can do this. I can do whatever I want in this situation. You know, I don't really see that come to fruition with the Mira windows there, but we'll see what M80 has to say about it. Do the Thatcher in play. Hey, pretty works out for Diaz. I think he's got another one here on the cross section as well. Oh, it's just the Mira window. A little soft breach there to the right. No, they're both flirting back and forth with this angle. So dangerous. Nitro cell out. Kendrew just risking it all right now. The Selma charge eats up the Mira barricade. Mute Jammer not really able to do much, as there's an EMP delivered by Diaz, so very well done from M80. They're making quick work of this site.
A risk there from Diaz, of course, in taking those fights. Obviously, things have worked out, so we don't have any real critique for it, but had he gone down, we could be looking at a very different situation here, where M80 may have not actually been able to get open the wall, but props to Diaz here, leading the charge in both the fragging and to some extent the utility front on this round here, making sure that the team is still able to move forward with those entries. Spirits can now take charge on this, try to proceed forward as the secondary hard breach and open up access to customs from the inside of Passport Check.
M80 have their picks, John, so they're going to slow down. They want to use this advantage, use these drones, discover some more angles, some more utility game of Secret. More details they get, better off they are going into this last minute. Apparently didn't see the angle that someone could be potentially working there. They saw him in that position, just didn't know that there was some verticality in play, so see if they can work this out with a frag grenade. It's going to force him off, more than likely hurt the pin through the floor there. So far so good for M80.
Gomez found out there as well. Quite a few members of M80 being heavily injured here now. Diaz, of course, the damage he took earlier. Now Gomez and Yaga as well, down to approximately half of their HP. Gomez is going to try to go for the east main entry. There is a camera on top of that, though, already previewing this potential push, so he's going to spot that coming from a long while away. Astro has the top-down angle and will be able to move in, but it's not going to be a kill from him. It's going to be Diaz instead that claims Slevin elsewhere. Diaz is well ready for the run-out from Astro. The top-down fails to dominate as it did in the previous round, and suddenly Grubby is all that remains in the 1v5.
Welcome to the Church of Diaz Lucas, folks. Ooh, Kino puts him down as well. Lots of energy from Divas.
I did a land. I did the rhythm of land. You like that.
Still smiles from Team Secrets. Apparently not too happy with
That kill was a fun one, you know, everybody could enjoy that.
A little confused as to what was happening there, apparently, for one of those engagements. Perplexed, rather, is Team Secrets. As M80, hot to trot, at least in that last round. The initial one, not too much going on, but they immediately bounced back into a positive favor.
1-1 scoreline established now as a result of that Team Secret finally going to the usual default site for this map upstairs in the lockers room. A few more kind of fight-heavy operators being brought to the table. Another interesting one in the form of the Vigil. Stokes has been mentioning how we haven't really been seeing a whole lot of Vigil as of late, and that still remains true a few days later in the tournament. Savage as well, going to try to bring this one in as M80 did emphasize their drone work a heck of a lot more on this previous round. So Savage potentially swapping over to this operator and see if he can potentially work around that and hide amongst it.
Just for funsies here, let me tell you how many times M80 has played against Vigil in the entirety of this tournament. This is the first time. There you go. And they've played how many rounds? 70 offensive rounds. So this will be 73. So it took him 73 rounds to get Vigil.
This is only our second time seeing him in the entire tournament so far.
It's so crazy how quick he's
even that's a lot right now, seeing him twice.
Yeah, it's like just so wild.
7 games. We're going to continue to see a slow windup from M80. As obviously the direct play did not really work out on round number 1. As Stokes said, a lot more respect being given over to Team Secret's defense now. So they pass the test, so to speak, on round number 1 here. So that is going to bring a more methodical play style out from M80. Savage trying to play against this with the Vigil's active ability, but at the same time need to be careful not to give over that opening entry to M80 again, trying to postulate a peek towards East Main, but has not been able to work himself towards it, and even worse too, M80 are not really baiting into that much right now. It's mainly that south doorway that they're all trying to focus on. Same for the windows too. If they can establish a counter cross for Savage, he may never even get the chance to try and go for that peek over by the stairwell.
Got some drones in here for M80, looking for some more info on site. Nades in towards Suicide. Not going to find too much though, as it seems off the mark. See if we can get it the second time around. In and on. Very well done from Yaw. Got the lineup, Slebin down
in the
for
basket.
The count. Indeed. I think that's an and one right there.
Takes him down, and that will leave us now with M80 in control, at least of the opener. Grubby, once again, this has been the star for Secret. It's been a massive presence, a massive saving grace, you could say, for this team. But at the moment, it's going to be all on Kendrew instead, who picks up one exchange against Spirits. Gomez does successfully knock out Grubby on the inside of security. So still a +1 advantage over to our attackers right now. Kendrew as well, just crawling his way out of the hot zone here to make it back to the inside of office.
Yeah, Kendrew is fighting for his life right now. Able to crawl out, make it through onto the other side of East, takes down Yaga, finds the equalizer. Team Secret, they're trying to stay in it. They're fighting back, and it's working so well. Kino all alone on an island over inside of break. 50 seconds left. He's got Case, but no cams. Got some cams around. You can see the rest of the team flickering through them. Kendrew down. Savage, such low HP, this AK-12. Such a strong weapon in the proper hands, and Kino, he has been so good all of 2022, especially with this team, but oh, can't feel it out correctly. Remember, Savage is on low HP. Kino has to literally breathe on him. Oh, so very close. They dance back and forth. He knows where he is. He has the ability to plant here. 20 seconds remain. Soma to go down. He's going to use this to cover the audio of the plant. Astro has impacts. 2 seconds remain here. He'll get through it. Impacts out. He knows that he's low HP. Astro seals it. Kino had the opportunity, but the earlier tag. So very close was Kino to clutching this up, but Secret just inches better.
Doesn't expect the dash to come back in through the breach and fountain there. A fatal misstep at the end of it. Well, what an attempt once again. The round nearly given back to M80. Lost, however, after they picked up the opening kill. They themselves not expecting the sudden aggressive swing from Team Secret around the 1.5 minute mark where Kendrew gets it started. A few other members of the team chime in with their own aggression as well there. And suddenly M80 are brought down to a single player who nearly gets the job done anyway, but falters in that final 1v1 with the post plant on the ground as well.
I mean, my heart's beating out of my chest. I don't know how Kino feels, but wow, that was so very close. GG's all around to everybody on that. Top-heavy strategy here from Team Secret as everyone ascends the stairs. Defense as well as Cerberus going to be the defensive strategy for Team Secret this time all around. Castle barricades abound as well on the top floor. A fantastic strategy we've seen implemented by quite a few squads, and also that door in particular, one that professional players wanted for a long time in the older version of Border, being able to break up the line of sight down that long hallway. Such a cool feature that they added with that. And you can see just how reinforced Slebin is going to go for this. They don't have Sledge. That's going to be kind of an issue. They have the Ash, though, and they have the potential to have some other breaching charges. So this might be more or less a moot point, and indeed, there are quite a few breaching charges in play.
All right, well, let's see here now how M80 is going to try to use those to harass the heck out of Team Secret's lower floor play, it seems. I'll build up to a pretty interesting late round, I would imagine, considering just how many of these they have brought to the table.
Well, you have the ADSs in play. I was a little worried about the suicide nade coming through again. How many ADSs does he have here, though? 2? Okay, fair enough. Fair play. We don't have any nades, but obviously that's a big thing that we would need, so don't even have to really worry about that. So don't have to worry about the burn they would potentially have. Probably just smoke the front of it if they're going to try and do anything over there. But a lot of their manipulation has been over here towards this balcony and trying to get in towards like Horseshoe and the break room area.
Complicated setup is spotted over here by lockers as well, so they probably won't be messing around with that too much. It's a little too dangerous, more than likely for M80 to want to try and set up and clear that out. So they back away from it. Spirits establishes Overwatch. They try to flank from those positions. Like I said before, not going to be too adventurous to claim it itself. Astro in the open for it as well. Potential opportunity presented. That member from M80, but not going to end up working out here. One of their members end up rotating back down. It does seem like M80's trying to primarily push in through jail. An opening they believe have here, and Spirits will eventually strike first here. Once again, knocking down Grubby, certainly helping to diminish his impact, but thankfully Kendrew and a few of the other members of Secret have been able to step up and make up the difference over the past few rounds.
M80 have done a perfect job of playing things to the absolute limit inside of this round. Their positioning, especially over towards the balcony area, was picture perfect. M80 not stepping up, giving themselves away towards Secret's, positioning. Even with the pulse up, it really seemed like Secret was pretty in the dark as to what was going on. Losing Grubby very early here, and now with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, M80 have free reign over what they want to do to this top floor. Still have to find a home for this planter downstairs, but it's looking solid so far.
A little bit of resistance still in the form of the Oryx, played out over by Office as well. He's going to continue to cause some problems. It appears another one also hiding still in the mirror in the inside of the small office here, but not too long for this position. Astro will be able to work things out, however, on the Oryx. One teammate dashes away, another one will rise to the occasion. 2 kills in a row now from Astro, sitting at 5-1, matching the energy of Kendrew now with an exact same scoreline as Yaga trades him back out.
Kendrew's under the desk.
Kendrew hiding down here, really be able to fend off the pressure when the execute comes forward. Kino and the rest of the team ready to potentially hop in through the hatch. 27 seconds remains. They do have a few moments of excess if they want to try and go for the drone game, check things out, but as Stokes mentioned, more than likely, Kendrew's position will be unnoticed, and he's got some big play potential because of that.
Has a pulse over inside of detention as well. So much routing that Secret can use to their advantage. Plant going down, but do they know where it is? It's inside on the server stack. This timing going to be so very important. They get the case down. They're going to give Yaga a chance here, and he has the verticality. Has to kill 3. So many challenges he has to take, but he gets 1. Knows they have to try and fight metal stairs. It's so very doable. He's going to be able to get a lot of damage off here. So very low. Look at Yaga's HP bar. He has this. This might be his moment, John.
He knows they
6 Invitational. Oh my God, what a time. What a time to be alive for Yaga. If there was a time to show your wit, show your prowess in Rainbow Six, it would be now! Yaga, you're gonna make me flip the table if you get this! Oh, Kendrew's on top of it. He has to fake it out. He's off of it. The timer, it's there. Yaga, he's got it! M80!
Let's go! Let's go!
Wow!
Steps away from achieving it in the previous round, and finally they grab it 1 round later. A massive clutch coming in from Yaga there to shut it down for M80 and give them the round after a brilliant stance put up earlier on by Astro as well. It's all made into a moot point as once again Yaga brings a big clutch into play and succeeds on it this time for M80. They're going to call for a timeout after that one, interestingly enough.
Yaga, I know you hate when I do this, but that's some corn-fed bruiser stuff right there, man. That's a Midwestern boy. Put him down. That was fantastic. Disgusting play. These guys are literally going to give me a heart attack during this game. It's only map 1, too. Ridiculous. Let's listen in here and see what's up.
It's an incredibly even individual stat line too, but we'll listen up here.
Shoes low, hype up a little bit, okay?
Yeah, we want to go Maui Sunny Chopin. For... If they go bathroom.
I can do it. It could be me. I'm usually like a guy on sandwich.
And we're back into it now. Starting out the game, I was talking about it before we quieted ourselves for a moment to try and listen to the tail end of that pause. Both teams pretty much sitting on the exact same individual scorelines right now. There's 2 players with 5 kills. I think both teams have 1 player with 3 kills, 1 player with 2 kills, and 1 player with 1 kill, or something similar to that. So incredibly even on the individual perspective of things right now. But M80 is coming on a little bit close with the clutch on that last round. Is able to tie us up once again. Things reflecting very, very close right now. As you can tell, Secret wants to fight for these points. They know that they are at the brink of elimination. That means they need to bring out everything they have, and we are certainly seeing that, but M80 is really not pulling any punches here either, so it's creating a real whirlwind of a series at the moment here. A few repicks coming in. Diaz is actually not really going to end up changing anything. We did see Gomez as well swap over to a Buck at the final moment. It's not really finding a use for the IQ inside of this one, specifically since we already have the Blitz to try to force the issue in a few of these areas, but we also are going to get the Amaru pick from Yaga once again. Try and see if he can bring some fun into this one with the Gara Hook.
M80 back on their Joker arc. We love to see it. The Blitz in, so is the Gara Hook wielding Amaru. Plenty of ammo in that G8 as well that Yaga will have. Won't have the shotgun this time around. We've been seeing some people favor that this tournament as well, so they're pretty fun. Secret's going to have the chunk in as well, which is pretty cool over the smoke. See if they can get it to go on this top floor. It's going to be M80 Spirits on his shield operator. He's most known for. Astro with a lot of damage off onto Kino. Very lucky they didn't remove his head though, so he'll take what he can get. Spirits is trying to stay on top of it. Can't get too ahead of himself here, so that's where things go wrong with Blitz. Have to stay kind of like a bulldog on a leash. A little aggressive here from both squads, but it'll work out from M80 on this top floor. Just a little bit of a mess, but they're the ones cleaning up. Really kind of the point of Blitz as well, right? Cause a lot of chaos.
Very much the case. And chaos we did get. That's chaos that currently M80 has some slight control over. Astro trying to put that right foot forward yet again. Diaz found from below by the Tachanka gun of all weapons as well. Slevin able to pierce through those floorboards. A knife for cheese and quickly knock out one of the members of the team. Spirit, so getting the flash out. He gets revenge against Astro, but Kendro once again able to trade it back into his team's favor. Secret refuses to give up on these gunfights, so we are even yet again down to a 2v2, and unfortunately for M80, one of those remaining players is the Blitz.
Low HP for both of them though, and Kendra is still alive, which is the bane of any shield player's existence. Oryx, so he can simply just knock Spirits on his butt. Got a big problem past that. Slubman's going to have full HP as well still, and a lot of those fire nades to prevent anything going on objective-wise. I mean, he's real chance. Try and get a pick here. See if we can influence this. Get some info game or something along those lines. We still have a drone here on Spirits, but it's more than likely in a flank watch, so might not adjust that. Could be worrisome. We get the angle here, Slebin. Lots of damage, but Slebin, oh!
Shit with that gun.
Not what you wanted to see. Kino's going to drop some stuns in. Kendrew. Oh, so unfortunate. Completely blind, like he's staring into the sun, and an M80 rather guns him down.
Misjudged the Candela drop position, thought he would have been able to creep forward without being affected by it. A fatal mistake that ends up costing Team Secret the round. However, only one behind here, so fairly easy still for the team to bounce back into it. With the seesawy nature that we've had in this game so far, I'd say it's almost a likely outcome of at least one of these upcoming rounds. Only one more remaining for the half, though, so it's Team Secret's last chance to make an impact here and keep us at an even keel before we reach halftime and decide if M80 is going to hold that advantage or not. Glass selection in for M80. We'll see if they stick with this. Once again, the resounding answer is no. As they go back to the IQ, it looks like, on the replay.
It's always a bait, it seems, for the majority of teams.
I'm telling you. It's just, I don't think it works.
There's going to be one game where...
I don't think it works.
I'm so proud of you, John. You have an opinion on this broadcast. You do it.
Glass is bad.
He is bad. Say it. Say it with your chest.
Keep him off your roster. What are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you, John.
See
I
through
appreciate
smoke,
that.
so can Warden. So
good stuff.
Not even special.
Boom. He's not even special.
Not even unique anymore.
Bulletproofs can see through stuff. Warden can see. There's so many people that are glass better.
That's a horrible point to make there.
I mean, but like, to be fair, all of the defensive utility actually just plays back at him. So it's like...
And it's so obvious when you play him usually. Like,
I wonder what this
second
smoke
he
is
shoots
for.
anything, it's like, well, oh, I wonder what he's going to do. Like,
my favorite is when they set the smoke right on the edge of the site, like no one's going to understand why that smoke is just randomly there this time around. Oh, I'm hiding it.
Also,
Ooh.
like, it's like, when else do you do a smoke execute? Current meta. Like,
Yes.
Like, there's a few other strats on certain maps, but that's really it. Like,
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I don't knock him for trying because there is, I am sure, every once in a while where that strat works so beautiful in scrims, but just not today, or really ever on broadcast, which really sucks because back in the day, Ying Glass meta used to be so crazy to watch. Entire defense would just die instantaneously. And if they didn't, they just die inside, really.
So the action getting started here. We'll pay close attention because things have been heating up very quickly on these rounds, and this one going to be no exception. Team Secret immediately pinching out the east push here. Slevin getting the confirmation on Kino. Keep in mind, Spirits is still down as well, yet to be confirmed over on the south balcony. There we go. The confirmation now in. Already a 2-kill advantage over to Secret for this round here. They're looking to make a statement on the final round.
Wow.
And Slevin with the drive-bys, certainly trying to seal the deal here as he knocks out Gomez.
Well, y'all got a heck of a round the
Not a
last
winner for
time,
M80
but yeah, went back to the casino. All he found was lead. It's gonna be Diaz. Lights up Kendrick, but now they know exactly where he is. He's going to get the business real quick from Groovy. It's going to be a flawless round from Secret. They bring it back to even keel here on border.
All right, so 3-3 scoreline. Both teams neck and neck at a near back and forth affair throughout the entirety of the half there. I think the teams each managed to get a double round peat at one point during it, but aside from that, very much a repeat for both teams. Moving into the second half now, it's M80's turn on the defensive side. We'll see how active they can be and if they're going to try to get in the face of Team Secret as often as we were seeing them try to do so against M80, or if M80 will strain themselves a little bit more. Allow Secret to go for their opening executes and play things out in a normal fashion. Speaking of a normal fashion, Secret with very few surprises when it comes to their operator lineup. Things are going to be pretty basic as far as their picks are concerned. It's a little bit more complex when we do see the repick come out from Grubby. Of course, going to add a little bit more direct flank counter into it. And Astro and I'll just switch over to the sledges. They still need that top-down opener to be brought back. Okay, maybe they don't. Doubling back onto it there. He ends up on the Ash. Feeling that the charges from Ash's grenade launcher are going to be good enough to do the top-down work they need.
Maybe it's just something about the G36C.
They're really switching it around here, too, because now Savage has the sledge back. Kendrew's gone over to the Twitch. This took a lot of repicking to get the final lineup.
That's one of those, you just look across the desk and go, I'm better than you on Twitch.
Yeah, I think they're like debating who should get the Twitch right there.
Savage was probably like, oh yeah, I'll play the F2. And they're like, the grip's off. And he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to play Twitch. He's like, give me sledge, Kendra, please. Kendrew's like, fine.
Kendrew's like, check the KDs.
He's like, fine, I'll do it with the 417. Watch this.
I'm the captain now.
Oh, no way. No way, no how, DS. I thought he saw it. Thought he laid eyes on the Twitch drone.
Apparently not. It was bye-bye to the probably most important mirror window we have down on this round. Just a straight hole opening up into that balcony entrance over into the site now. Not the best way for M80 to start this one out. They do have to just kind of give up that part of the map by default or play very carefully around the window at a minimum here. A lot of stacked players from M80 over here by east side as well. So we'll have to see what they're potentially trying to cook up. Quite a bit of a stack deployed, but it does go back into normal positions. It looks like maybe just trying to posture up for something crazy if we saw a bigger east push from Team Secret, but they never really obliged it, so M80 also destacks their positioning.
Well, not too much of a frontal assault into the building just yet. Nice gunfight there. Spirits will end up losing that. Astro's on very low HP now, though. Savage will go down. Some nice trade outs from M80 as they will regather the lead. Astro's still very low on HP as he was not one of the targets of that assault. M80 looking quite solid here, but Sleben finding an angle. So many M80 bodies piled high there. Practically couldn't miss firing a volley. Able to take down one. DS, though, he's going to fire back. It is constantly Secret, just trying to find these off angles up against the M80 setup. Trying to work things around break side as well as the office area. Someone's going to get off of east, it seems. Kendrick has the case, so it seems like Sleben's going to have to try and rotate over to him, but everything down here is barricaded. Everything is an audio cue. The cam might even still be up for default. I mean, who knows how far Team Secret even got down here? They didn't see too much. Oh, they got a drone down here. They know where one is. Oh, good night, Gomez. Sleben opening up the gate here. They might actually have this 2v2.
Kendrick maybe try and pierce into the site, though. That's going to be the key part of this. How do they get access to a plan angle? 30 seconds to go, so very decent amount of time in order to make this work. Kendrick with the wrong guess initially. He tries to push forward deeper into archives, but there's reason behind that as M80 is giving up those positions. Kendrick, though, clipped off, and the same can be said for the last remaining player as well. M80 suddenly jumps out of nowhere, finds the winning angles for those final 2 kills, puts up a stalwart defense instead, winning things out in round number 7, and locking in that lead for the foreseeable future.
Back and forth we go, it seems. Team Secret unable to get things going on that offensive side instead of the 2 versus 2. Really good job of working the map, though, keeping things active. Also, shout out to everybody that was dead there as well for staying active on cams. As much as that seems like a fundamental of Siege, you know, it even escapes professional players sometimes. So just good on them for staying heads up, making sure that they are assisting the roster at all times, staying active. Almost had it there at the dying moments, but M80 able to muster up just at the tad bit there, resurge into the defensive part. able to pick up those last 2 kills. So M80 are going to send it down to the bathroom now. Kino going to be on dock. We see M80 work dock in every once in a while. I think we've seen it a couple of times here on their borders previously as well, just for some of those longer angles. Plus, I mean, border tends to be a pretty, fight-heavy map, even though, that's kind of the point of Siege past that, right? But it makes it to where you can take a lot more of those fights, especially with Doc nowadays. He heals you for so much HP. I think it's 200 flat now, which is just absolutely crazy.
So we'll see the Doc brought in for Kino. See what he can work with this operator. Quite a versatile one when it comes to just his capability to solo play. I mentioned the gun work that can be made with him as well, but no immediate success being seen in these first few seconds here, which is where we normally tend to see the Doc shenanigans play out. Very well-positioned drone, going to be a constant info drip here now. This is one that is more than likely not going to get spotted by the defenders unless they have a very keen eye behind that bag up there. So Grubby has a lot to work with. The problem is he's the only one on the drone at the moment, so it's not necessarily the most reliable intel. It's going to be a hope that he has a teammate to watch this one for him when he's ready to make that leap forward. Keep in mind, he can no longer see that Doc position deeper on the inside, and it does appear that Kino suspects something. Nade goes right on top of Gomez there. Almost a big misstep. So obviously that would have been thrown by a member of Team Secret. He gets caught out by Diaz. That actually takes some hits, potentially from that spray there. He's brought down to half HP, but it's going to be Kino. Spotted out first by Savage, and that should potentially open up the wayside for the Amaru swing now. Spirit's able to find a trade, being able to keep control of the immediate area near Office as well as Fountain. But Groovy officially in now, taking that control away and starting to pinch to force those players away.
Very unfortunate that Kino happened to be the first one to go down there, as DS could definitely use one of those stims at the current moment, but it's a fair shake there for M80 as Savage is down, so therefore lacking Lion, but Groovy making it hard now with the G8 as he takes out 2 in sight. Standing on the server stack, tall, as we're working this one out quite well. Yeah, still holding things down at the back end. Not too much happening past that. Just trying to stay stalwart.
Nice.
And just tries to attempt to let M80 work out his positioning. They give up the goods yet again here, and he's good for 3 in that round. Secret, so decisive there, especially for Groovy.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, as it does look like this is going to be a long one here. Both teams proving their worth pretty much instantly inside of both halves here, with the response round being won both times. 1-1 on the first 2 rounds of both halves here so far, and that's going to keep us even now at 4-all between these teams. Ventilation hold coming up next for M80 as they try to rebound yet again and hold on to this lead so they can at least try to work their way up to 6 before their opponents do and have potentially that one more round opportunity to win this one in regulation.
No Jaeger here for M80, but more than likely won't need it. Gonna bring the castle barricades back. Definitely see this being a little bit more dedicated towards the top floor, but that's not what M80 is thinking. They're thinking about castle barricading up jungle as well as Vent's window here. Astro does have sledge, so a couple of these will be pretty fairly, straightforward for them. He's gonna switch it on over to the Ash, so might be a little bit worried about something else here. These castle barricades might play a hand into things later on. They can definitely mess up some rotations and past that, especially depending on the picks that M80 can get. There's some times where it's practically impossible to use those as an avenue to work your way around the map. Otherwise, you have to try and circumnavigate them, use other spaces and your team hopefully has control of at that point. Yaga's going to go for a quick spawn peek. Good throwback there to Waka all the way back in the day.
Hollow is going to be tough to make that work, unfortunately.
I mean, you'd be surprised, man. Waka all the way back, SI 2019, John. Little Valkyrie gameplay. What you know about that, huh?
Kendrick gets us started, though. Yaga tries to jump out yet again, and Kendrick continues to find that consistency. Cursed a little bit there, as we do see Spirits trade him back out. Now it just goes 1-1 on this run. Spirits, hard hold in the corner right there. Oh, man. Does not suspect the big swing from Astro. And he'll be able to get 2. Down against him. Kino responds with 2 of his own. It's a battle of superstars here. Players just going off, back and forth against each other. Slevin, a great opportunity, but he can't follow through with the spray. Kino survives and only loses about 1/3 of his health as we are already down to a 2v2, less than a minute into the round.
Both of these teams so feisty.
It's a gunner's game right now.
Yeah, a lot of fire back and forth. Frag grenade in. Could get rid of that castle barricade there, give them some access to vents. They still have Groovy here on the Nook, so this could be extremely useful for them. No frag grenades on him, but drone for Slevin, but probably on flank, as they do still have 2 active. But obviously 3 dying in some pockets, so a little hard fought there for Team Secret, but hopefully have something. You can see Astro's on a camera, Slevin, so I'll be helping them out. So more than likely be a camera that's not moving much unless they need it. Try and clear out sight. I'm going to try and use the verticality to their advantage and see if they can potentially get a pickup. M80, I don't think, though, is going to be playing this directly onto sight. They'll be playing right on the outskirts. Very, very smart thing to do. Trying to defend some of these positions. The stairwell as well as the drop. You can see that drone from Slevin. They had it upstairs inside the 90 hallway. They're going to work that downstairs, John. They're going to try and get that in sight, but DS is going to clean that up.
Activating presence reduction.
Grubby starts the descent here. Just gonna go slightly unnoticed. So wraps around the corner. Keep in mind, it's got those more obscured footsteps nicely found as well. Diaz not ready for it on the cross. Kino finds the response though. Yet again, one player goes down, another star seems to rise. Slevin, he'll go for the plant. Here's Kino's second opportunity for the clutch. He's gonna miss Slevin initially. Here's another transition and gets the instant headshot. It's another 1v1 clutch going the way of M80 as they sustain and keep the lead in their pocket.
Gotta wipe my glasses off here. Is that an audio fake in Rainbow Six? Disgusting. I was watching Counter-Strike there for just a split second. Oh my, Kino. Look at that. Gets it lined up. First bullet out of that MPX. 5 rounds now for M80 as every single round seems like it's up in the air. Anybody's ball game between these two teams. Absolutely loving it, especially for Team Secret. Really good to be seeing them play so well. Been loving what we're seeing from Astro. Some big kills from him. Just haven't been able to build off it in the best of ways for Team Secret. It's been a lot of M80 just being like, all right, cool. If you can do that, we can do that as well. And they end up equalizing.
So for Team Secret, it's once again a task of getting back on the seesaw here. See if they can swing themselves up high enough to tie things up at 5-5, or does M80 really take control after yet another ground-shattering clutch comes into their favor there? Down to the 1v1, truly becoming a game of individuals to a lot of this, for a lot of these rounds here, because it ultimately just comes down to a 1vx more times than not. The team doesn't outright dominate inside of the early round. We'll see if things remain as chaotic as they have been for the previous rounds. We keep in mind again what we said there. 8 out of 10 of the players, excuse me, that number's wrong. 6 out of 10 of the players, we're down to a 2v2, were dead inside of the first minute of play in the previous round here. So that gives you an idea of just how hot this game is getting that quickly.
Spicy. I always love it when these games are this tight-knit. Keep them close, keep them entertaining. I get way too bored when things start getting drastic for one team. It's like, all right, come on, man. Let's do something here. And speaking of something, I guess my calls will be answered, won't they? Groovy quickly dispatches Kino. He's like, all right, Stokes, we'll give you some entertainment. Kino goes down. He won't be around to save M80 this time. So they're going to have to rest on the rest of the squad. They've been really good, though, being able to play from a man down, not only equalizing, but most importantly, taking rounds from this position quite often.
We're sitting back and waiting here. Astro going for the very safe opening of South, but it is a bit of a distraction as they're actually trying to hop in towards the balcony and take East control, I think, and work things from there. Might not necessarily be the case, though, as we don't see that full commitment showing up from Secret. They're still trying to work some positioning over by the office wall as well. First swing into there, but I mean, he's more than ready for that present. You can see they have the setup to counter that one back out. Secret very much trying to go for the full side swipe clear here. He's trying to move for a full east to west take. Without the corresponding pressure, either coming in from the south or somewhere else on the map, this is still going to be a tough one to make work, even with the time they're trying to give themselves for it. That player advantage is really all they are banking on right now to make this work, and hope they can, the loss of one player, trade their way to a win. And they might very well be right about that. Gomez now being dropped down, not fully eliminated yet. Savage will take some responses. He does go down, but he wins the fight. Yaga gets a confirmation off onto Groovy, but still all these kills are going over to Secret. Astro with 2, Slevin to finish it off. Secret, hold on. We are still tied at 5-all.
You can just see how crazy Border is for the offensive side if you're able to get those walls open. A practical kill box. No matter what happened, M80 is entering no man's land. So many angles being flooded on every portion portion of the map. Fantastic control from them as they break open Archive, have that counter angle coming in from metal stairs up through Fountain. Just so many positive areas for them to try and abuse. Really hard fought there from M80 as they can't stop Team Secret from getting control there. That was the biggest issue. Once they have control like that, you just have to try and gun out, and there really wasn't an opportunity for that this time around.
Opportunity indeed, especially with them starting on the back foot. Couldn't really justify any type of hyper-aggressive swings or anything like that to try to get back into the action there, as they were already a player down, so they'd just be risking a further deficit. Tried to play it safe, tried to play to the advantageous spots that they had taken up there in the middle of the round, but does not end up working out. Team Secret is given all the freedom and all the time, more importantly, to read into that and properly execute counter. Armory Archives up on the docket again for M80, as they're still wanting to try and lock in a success on this second floor hold. The Seesaw still alive and well, so it'll be their turn to win it if everything goes in that order. At the same time, Team Secret giving us a convincing one on that previous round. It's going to be tough for M80 to turn it back around.
Secret heard you talking mess about Glaz. He's in the lineup, and he's here to stay.
What's the over-under on the repick?
Well, they have, what is it, 20 seconds basically remaining until, well, roughly like 25 seconds at that moment.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to roll with it.
I think they're going to stick it, yeah.
I think they're going to stick it, considering the way they executed the last round, because those were a bunch of angles where Glaz could actually probably work it pretty well. Like that office play they were trying to make, that's probably like a Glaz playground right there. if they can set that up properly. And more importantly, if M80 actually obliges and swings into it, though, that's the hard part, is you have to convince M80 to actually challenge.
I think the wild thing would be to like do that angle, but set the, wait, hold on 1 second. Wait, it's going to be top floor again?
Yes,
they can't use that angle because they didn't bring hard breach. That long angle through Archives, they can't use that.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
There's no hard breach there, so the Glaz is going to have to do something else. Maybe he's going to go to AC. Oh, now I'm quizzical.
Guess we'll find out.
Oh my goodness.
That is going to be a real big uh-oh moment when Team Secret gets themselves to the inside.
All right, guys, now use the Selmas.
What Selmas?
What Selmas, sir?
One in your back pocket.
Oh, thank God it's the weekend. Captain, it's Wednesday.
All right, well, let's see how Team Secret try to get things done here. The OSA as well.
Oh, they're going
okay.
old reliable, baby.
I see how they're
I love
make
it.
this work now.
Let's go. Oh, wow. Okay.
And they go.
Love it.
The OSA plant pretty much ready to go already. Kendrew has the case in hand.
1, 2, 3 nitro cells.
So there is a direct hard counter to this setup. First smoke. You can see that ball pluming on the ground right there. Phone calls coming too, so that's going to prompt M80 to hold themselves back. Nades cooking in. They want this first kill, I think, before they try to commit themselves to the inside. Once again, possibly waiting for an aggressive swing to come out from M80, but they're holding for the most part. Just a few repositions when they're forced to, but they're not going to be obliging any of this aggression at the moment. Nice nade dump, though. Diaz, though, still staying away from it. The nitro in another one. A double nitro, and it's going to knock out Kendrew. Drops the case inside of the site along with it. That will not be an easy one to retrieve if M80 has an angle on that doorway.
It's the pain train for Kendrew. Slubbing down to a smoke. Haven't even had the third course of this 3-course meal. The nitro cell still in the pocket of Diaz. Very low HP on him though, but it's a 5-man buffet for M80. Practically just throw bodies at Team Secret. It might work out. Yes, with a nice angle. Slevin trying to find him though. Knows he might be prone inside of that door. They have a lot of time still on the docket to try and abuse. But M80 so healthy. There it is, Spirits. He's gonna pick up Savage. They were just waiting to find somebody on rotation. My God, M80. Astro gonna get something here at the end. Practically a participation trophy at this moment. It's gonna take a long road in order to get this done. He does have some time, he does have some bullets. Does he have the coup? If he doesn't, Kino shuts it down, and they have a chance to get this dealt with in regulation.
M80 up to 6. They have a chance indeed, but can they break the curse of the seesaw that's been alive here this entire half so far? That's the big question now. They're not obviously going to be able to go back to that same site. They're once again going to have to change things up in that regard as well, but they do have some winners now that should be unlocked that they can fall back on. Speaking of which, it's down to Customs here for their final site.
Which, I'm going to confirm this really quickly, but if I do remember off the top of my head, which I've been pretty good at about this this tournament, actually.
Glaz once again accomplishing a whole lot in that last round.
Glaz accomplished literally nothing.
I have nothing else to say aside from putting that piece of information out there for those who find that useful.
Hair. That's my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. So what map are we on? No. So where's Border at here? There we go. 10 plays on Border so far. We've had 114 rounds. It's 46% defender rated. And where was there it is. Oh, we're going to Ventilation Workshop. I'm sorry. I thought we were going down to...
Yeah, we're downstairs.
I thought we were going to Supply and Customs. Apologies, because we'd only played that 5 times so far, so I wanted to get that. So I misheard you. Apologies. But since we're here already, 42% defensive win rate on that. 44% actually on Teller's Bathroom, funny enough. So that one just edging out its fellow site, its sister site, you could say, on the same floor. So... M80 looking to defend vents and do it successfully here. Spirits is going to have a bulletproof up for the outside balcony. Big favorite of mine and a lot of players, honestly. A little bulletproof there. Get so much info as to what's going on out there. And even see the person that's kind of playing around the CCTV window there. It's so strong.
It's not necessarily an easy one to get rid of as well. Definitely going to want to commit a piece of range soft reach utility, if it works, of course, to be able to take that down. And really get rid of that piece of vision for M80. M80 in the meanwhile, though, waiting patiently on the depths of the site here, waiting for Team Secret to work their way forward. Keeping a good overwatch onto the site window, just in case Team Secret try to go for something a bit cheekier here. The direct play after what we saw in the previous round. They're certainly wary of it, but at the same time, should be expecting a much more normal execute given the failure that was that direct play from Team Secret in the previous round. Would be a bit bold, in my opinion, to go for something of that nature again. Groovy, though, with a bit of a bold play of his own, has made a successful insertion over towards Tellers, and at the moment, there's no one really watching out for him, so he does have free reign to move forward and potentially bully his way into controlling the site from the back flank.
Well, it's going to be Secret initially from the vent side, and then it's going to be Kirby rotating in, but that's going to be very easily dealt with by Spirits. They had the comm upstairs that everything was clear in Secret. Not like this, please, please not like this. 3 deaths instantaneously, a Thanos snap from M80, and bodies drop left and right. It's up to Slebin. A Rubik's Cube to solve here on Border.
Slebin, last one rolling here, now inside of the 1v4. Siege turns, pretty much infinite time to play this out. That won't really be a big concern for him. It's just everything else. That's the problem. He'll have to try and work his way past a lack of intel, a lack of really good angles to work with. Don't even think he has case control realistically close to him. Now it's way downstairs, still sitting on the inside of that doorway from the first plant attempt. So pretty much everything working against this player right now. He'll try to work himself forward. Actually does get the spot onto the player on the inside of the half-wall position there and executes it. Spirits goes down. 3 more players to go. Only about a third of his overall remaining time when he got into this situation. Still left here. Trying to establish a bit more of a top down. Oh no, they heard that from the other end of it. Tried the nitro. He nearly gets one on the way out here. But M80, they're playing this one smart. Very few mistakes being made by them. They back away. They're not going to become a victim of this top down angle. They want Slebin to roll back down to them. Force his hand into another play, and there we go. Kino slaps the last member alive off the seesaw and breaks the curse as they will claim this one in the very final round of regulation. A 7-5 victory for M80 in the first map of the series.
Incredible game there from M80, and not only that, but they didn't need DS to go nuclear there.